Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, this is going to be the last test of current draw, and I wanted to document this. This is the MARX 1998 diesel. Of course, I've got the Lionel adapters on the couplers on the same consist that I tested all of the other locomotives with, minus, of course, the tender. So I've got the ammeter set up, still running on the same battery. It has not been charged. So let's take this around and see how the 1998 does as far as current draw. Alright, get it up to a decent speed. That looks good. As you see, 1.5 amps. So consistently, MARX draws more than the Lionel motors. Now the Lionel diesel drew 0.9 amps, say 1 amp, and as did the 2036 and the 2025, which are heavy. And here's a MARX 1998 pulling the same consist at 1.5 amps. So regardless of the model of locomotive that I've tested, MARX is consistently higher in current draw. But even so, this locomotive will run about 4.5 hours constantly on this Mighty Max 5 amp battery. Now, as you see, this is still running absolutely perfectly. I've been running this battery now since it got here, 2 full days. So cumulative, it's probably got 3 hours of runtime on the battery itself. But it's intermittent use, of course, which means this battery is going to last for probably a week, perhaps longer than that. Just depends, of course, on how long you run it. And in this case, I've run, I don't know, a dozen locomotives at least. In this case, that 1998 is running perfectly, pulling the same consist that all the others pull. But MARX is consistently higher in current draw. So it just goes to show the MARX motor is not as efficient as the Lionel. All of the Lionel motors, regardless of the weight of the locomotive, pull about 1 amp. All of the MARX locomotives pull 1.5 amps. The MARX Mercury pulled over 2 amps. So obviously, if you're going to be running this and you're looking for longevity, Lionel is what you want to run. And if you're looking for the absolute longest longevity, of course, the CAN motors, you can't beat them. That locomotive will run 20 hours. This one will run 4.5. But as you see, this battery is still working absolutely splendidly. No problem with this at all. As you see, plenty of power remains in that battery, even after all the testing and all the locomotives that I've run. Plus just running the layout itself on the battery. So it works. There's no doubt about that. It's efficient. It's really inexpensive. It's completely portable. That's the neat thing about it. So in any case, to be the last video, I think I've proved the point. Lionel is a more efficient motor regardless of what locomotive I've tested. Lionels consistently run at 1 amp. Regardless of the weight, regardless of the consist. Excuse me. So this 1998 is running perfectly. And in my opinion, this is one of the nicest, I think most well-built locomotive that MARX made. And even so, consistently running at 1.5 amps. So it just goes to show Lionel is a better motor, period. Hands down, it wins. But as you see, it's running absolutely splendidly on that little tiny battery. So imagine if you had a deep cycle marine battery, you could run your layout for weeks. If I had more controllers, it would be an interesting experiment to run all 4 tracks on one single battery. And even doing that, I'm sure this would run for days. But so far, there hasn't been any glitches of any kind running these on batteries. Nothing. Every locomotive I have tested has worked absolutely perfectly. All of them have run. with no problems. Even the electronic E-units have run. So as you see, it runs nice, good constant speed all the way around the rail. Again, consistently drawing 1.5 amps. So, in any case, like I said, this will be the last video. I think I've proved the point. I just wanted to test all these different motors and all these different locomotives. And again, MARX consistently draws more current than Lionel. All the Lionels have been right around 1 amp. All of the MARX have been at least 1.5, some of them 2.2. So, just a quick follow-up video. So I'm going to run this battery until it literally goes dead. And of course, you just recharge it. That's the nice thing about this. But I think it's going to take days to actually kill this battery. And this thing is really, really small. So you can imagine how long a full-size car battery or a deep cycle marine battery would run this layout. Like I said, it would be a great experiment to get 4 more of these controllers, or 3 more controllers, and to power them all off of one single battery, run all the tracks and see how long a battery would last. But again, for doing a show or a demonstration someplace where there's no power available, there's absolutely no doubt this works. It works absolutely perfectly. So lots of possibilities of what you could do with this. But in any case, I thought it was a really, really interesting experiment. Best of all, it worked. An unqualified success. These batteries work for running model trains. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, just a quick follow-up on this. As you see, this is running absolutely perfectly on this little tiny battery. So, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.